375 alive, talking things they love, talking of the toys from the stars above. Join Dave of the Dead and Ryan Speaks Geek as they keep 375 alive.
Hello, welcome
Hello.
to 375 Alive.
375 Alive.
Geek
And I'm Dave of the Dead.
I don't know why I'm doing it in like that kind of voice.
It's really been a while. How are you, my friend?
I'm not too bad, thanks. I have been busy. I work in finance. It's tax year end, so I have been just disappeared for a little bit. Just from the ether. Just was like, I'm gone. But thankfully, so there has been some Star Warsy goodness to sustain us in this dark time of no Star Wars in the build up to Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've got Mando next month. Like that's exciting. Yeah. But
I feel like I've seen every possible trailer for it now.
Yeah, I think I've been trying to just keep myself at bay. I think with the prequels and Rogue One, I think I went all in, like trying to find as much as I could before it came out at the cinema. And now it's just like, well, yeah. I don't need any spoilers. I'm quite happy just to see what comes. Evening, Dean. You all right, man?
Evening, Dean. I'm
cool.
so envious. I still haven't seen Dean's display in person, and I need to.
Oh, Dean has one of the possibly present company excluded, but like the best 375, certainly vintage collection display I've ever seen in person. It's mate.
I need to see it in person. I've seen all the pictures, and now I'm just like, I need to live it. I need to feel the experience, breathe the experience of Dean's 375 collection.
Yeah.
I thought I would kick our Maul the small things thing off with a little trip down memory lane. I present to you the Darth Maul lunchbox.
I was going to ask you when when the Phantom Menace came out, you were the right age for that movie, weren't you? So you probably went all in on Phantom Menace merch.
I went mauling. I think. I absolutely loved it. I mean, this isn't my actual childhood one, because my childhood one got used to the point where it was just like almost blank. This is one I picked up really cheap somewhere, but still one of my favorite things. I mean, look at that. The amount of things we had with Maul type, like the Maul tattoo pattern on Maul's face, and it just always made me laugh. When I got older, I realized how ridiculous it was because Maul was in it for so little, and at that time was killed off at the end of the film. And yeah, every bit, like the Power of the Force 2 style card, but it was obviously updated for episode 1, had Maul's face all the way down there in that glorious red. And like literally, like I said, and everything had Darth Maul on it, or Queen Amidala, or Jar Jar Binks. It was like mainly those three, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was the poster boy for that movie. Like, little Annie aside, it was all it was all about Maul. So yes,
all about Maul.
And it's come full circle. He's got his own show.
Yeah, which is crazy. And I've even just read today, whilst we were just about to go on, that season 2 is already in development of this.
Yeah, it got greenlit. I think the night before it dropped. Like the first episode's dropped. Yeah.
Isn't that mad? We're already going to get a season 2, and we haven't even finished season 1. That's like saying like we know the value of this character.
Yeah. Well, it's in good hands, isn't it? Like Sam Witwer on board. I think he's on board in like the creative process as well, which is kind of cool.
Wouldn't surprise me, because he seems pretty tight with Dave, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Other Dave, obviously, not you, Dave.
Well, I'm there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realise we're actually consultants on the for Dave Filoni. Only when it comes to 375 based advice he needs.
Yeah, so for those that haven't seen us either on our own channels or together as 375 Alive, we are Star Wars enthusiasts, action figure enthusiasts. We generally talk 3.75-inch action figures, but on this occasion we are venturing into a sort of a reaction series, diving into Maul Shadow Lord, and there'll be a sprinkling of 375 bias along the way. I'm sure we'll discuss what characters we might see turn up from Hasbro over the coming years, if any.
We'll discuss what will inevitably be made in Black Series, but for some reason not 375, and then they won't complete a team in either part. But I digress.
Yeah, well, okay. we'll park that. We'll park that.
Okay. We'll Ray Park that for now.
Hey, talk me through your routine. So Maul Shadow Lord dropped on Monday, so it's Easter Monday here in the UK, bank holiday. Many of us were on holiday, or had the day to ourselves. I appreciate it was year end for you, and probably you probably just caught a couple of hours to find some time to watch this series. But what was your Monday like? What was your routine for sticking Maul on?
I literally got up out of bed, got some breakfast cereal, and watched Maul like it was Saturday morning cartoons. I'm like, let's do this. And then you messaged me saying, as I was loading it up, you messaged me saying, I'm going in. And I was like, this is bait. I feel like a kid again, because I was sitting there with like my cereal. I mean, I should have packed it in my Maul lunchbox really, but I had my cereal. I was ready, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. I had a bit of a lie-in, so I didn't watch it as early as I could have done, but I feel it was well deserved because I've been working on. But yeah, and then I watched both one after the other. What about yourself?
Very similar, yeah, like you say, that sort of Saturday morning cartoon sort of routine for me as well. But yeah, I texted you, didn't I, when I was going in? I wasn't sure because you normally get in there early with these, so I wasn't sure if you'd be up or not.
I'm old now.
and this is a bit different because we watched both episodes, did a very brief sort of text to say, seen it, loved it, but we'll talk later. Like normally we would just chat all day or all week about what we'd just seen.
Going into to be really restrained,
and it's like, let's save it for the show. Like, so hopefully we've got something to talk about 2 days later. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I'm wearing my Pizza Hut hat today because it was black and red, and I thought that would be more Maul based. And Pizza Hut used to be the old episode 1 promo.
I've got black and red underwear on.
But don't show that on YouTube, right? It's a family show. It's not.
I was looking for I've been looking for like Maul shirts, and there's not many out there, and the ones that are, I'm not a massive fan of. So yeah, I'll buy.
I've still got my childhood Maul t-shirts. When my parents, well, do you know what? You laugh. I put one on as a joke, and it actually, although looking like I was sitting there like something from the Maulosphere, I was sitting there like, and I was trying my best, but it did fit. But last time I'd worn it, I was probably about 12. So yeah, I mean, it kept everything in. It was more like wearing a Maul themed girdle. So that bit was kind of handy. But I was like, I can't subject viewers to that.
All the t-shirts I wore when I was 12 are bigger than the ones I wear now. Like baggy was a thing back then, and yeah. But yes, let's get into it.
But
very nice.
I am wearing a
brand
NASA t-shirt because I am also very, very stoked about Artemis 2 and the Orion shuttle going around the moon. And I did actually stay up late to watch that launch, and it was totally worth it because it was awesome. So yeah. Right.
I stayed up late last night to see if the world was going to end, but thankfully that's on hold for a couple of weeks, so we can talk Maul.
Yeah, it was a total victory for someone, apparently. Anyway.
Right, chapter 1, The Dark Revenge. So we kick off, we see a new planet, Janix.
Yeah.
Lots of Coruscant, Blade Runner vibes. I'm probably saying things that everyone has said so far. So, but the animation straight away looks beautiful. Like it's that Clone Wars, Bad Batch style, but it just
It
looks so
reminded
much
me
more
more of
vibrant.
Tails in
Yeah,
the design, and I think because it has that thing where it kind of almost looks like concept art come to life. That it looks like the matte paintings like move, that there's a slight blurring with the details, which works really well. Really atmospheric,
mm,
like straight out the door. And really, if we're doing straight out the door, literally when Maul appears in the door at the opening, and we have that little nod to Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates.
Holy Moses, that's how you open a show.
Yeah, because we sort of had like a almost like a James Bond-esque sort of intro, didn't we? Like it was
Mm,
like a good 5 minutes, 5 minute intro before we got the titles, which isn't something that we get on many shows. But yeah, it started with a heist. We see Maul's crew, so he's got like Mandos on board. He's got like a couple of Zabraks, like Night Brothers, in his team as well.
mm.
And a really cool little droid, the Spy Bot. I think it's just called Spy Bot. I don't think it has a designation yet.
Not yet.
But like a sort of batteries not included style. Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
Yes, yeah. There's sort of kind of There's definitely like painted features within the animation style. Like they've actually gone and painted and then sort of scanned that in and layered it over the top of the buildings. Like, yeah, beautiful.
Looked phenomenal.
And
And
hey,
that
Delvin.
was a really good shout about Blade Runner, actually, because that was my first thought. It really reminded me of Blade Runner in the style it was done, because it had like, it was that counterbalance between neon and dark, misty sort of atmosphere, like a very lived in dirty city, which Star Wars obviously pioneered, lived in sci-fi back when it first came out. So that's trends continued, and like you said, a new planet, which was also unexpected, to be honest. I had it in my head it was just going to be Coruscant maybe, or something like that. I didn't think they were going to a whole new world.
From the trailers, it looks like just another planet. I did go on StarWars.com earlier today just to see what it said about it, and it's kind of like the city itself is sort of based in a crater within like a jungle sort of planet. So the whole city, it's not like the whole planet is a city like Coruscant. So it's a bit more grounded than that. But
I did like that the police bureau was almost a bit droid control ship like. With the central sphere and then like the ring around. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I did like it. Was like, it felt like an episode 1 callback.
And then it is mainly manned by droids. So yeah,
Ooh.
that's another another callback to Phantom Menace, which gets us into another comparison, like with Andor. So again, I appreciate these are probably surface level comparisons, but the Andor sort of connection where the planet itself is governed by local police, and you are just waiting for something to happen to spark the Empire coming in and taking over. And in this case, it's Maul that gets caught on surveillance, and it flashes up as like ISB, contact the Empire. So we will see at some point things hit the fan, I guess, for the police.
They call the fuzz. I think it will also be good because speaking of like ISB, that whole part of it was actually one of my favorite parts of Andor, was like the ISB element. So the fact that they're hinting sort of that ISB is going to be coming in, it makes me very happy. It makes me a little bit more hopeful we might get some of those different tunic ones, because like you've got Andor gave us all these different tunic characters, like officer ranks and stuff. So I made a couple in vintage, like the grey ISB type agent, which is like the clerk, like the assistant, and then you even had like the Coruscant security one, which was like in the blue tunic. But so it kind of makes me go like, oh, okay, what could we potentially see in this? Because we saw the ISB type tactical team with the stormtrooper armor over an officer's uniform.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
We're gonna get the Empire in here. It's just, what Empire are we gonna get?
So again, a bit like Kenobi, when they're alerted to like Jedi presence on Tatooine, they send down the Inquisitors, don't they? So, and we know we're getting Inquisitors in this show. They've been in the trailers, and we've got them coming in the vintage collection, which is really cool as well. So yeah, whether the ISB themselves turn up or whether the Empire just sends Inquisitors and a bunch of stormtroopers, we'll see. But
it's Marok, isn't it? The one that we've seen in the trailer.
And I want to say like the Crow, but like it's the 1st and the 11th brothers.
Yes.
Like the Crow's the one
Um,
that Ahsoka
was in
Tails.
that was it. It was
Yeah.
in Tails. That was it. So that would be really cool. Obviously, we're getting figures about those. We'll talk figures in a bit.
Got to talk.
Yeah, we got to talk figures. So obviously, after the heist, we sort of see the way it is. Maul seems to be very much focused on finding a new apprentice, as well as getting vengeance on people that betrayed him during his criminal uprising.
Yes.
And I find that interesting, like, because we're going back to that format of like the secret apprentices, almost, you know, a bit like Ahsoka came out from the Clone Wars, but was never mentioned in the films because obviously it didn't exist at that point. And obviously, up to this point, we've not known of a Maul's apprentice, and yet here we are, looking like we're building up to that being a key thing for him. Because he talks about taking on Sidious, so you know, I'm guessing he knows he needs the power of 2. And his brother is definitely dead. Surprise, not so oppressive anymore. But so that was really cool. So we see the Jedi characters. Shall we touch on those next?
Yeah, so we've got a master and apprentice. I've got names. I have got names.
Okay.
I will absolutely butcher them though. We've got Eki Dio Daki, who is the master. Thank you. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what species he was. I didn't recognize him as the shorter of the two.
He is one of the lizard people that are controlling the government, Dave. Clearly.
And we've clearly got a Twi'lek called Devon. Also comparisons to Darth Talon. We know that George Lucas had sort of a plan for Maul, or there's a lot of stories going around George Lucas's plan for like a trilogy around Maul, and maybe a Darth Talon-like character would have featured in that. See, Darth Talon in Legends is from a completely different era, but yeah, it's interesting that they've chosen a Twi'lek to be the character that Maul is going to try and bring in, turn to the dark side.
I thought one of the interesting things about their introduction was it's that obviously they're on the run from the Empire, like all Jedi are at this point. The one of many Jedi that seem to have survived all the 66. Going to question the efficiency of it nowadays. But the bit I thought was interesting is that she clearly is the apprentice, the younger one, and she's still very sort of almost Anakin-like in the sense that she just wants to do what needs to be done, get ahead with things, blah, blah, blah. But the master, is still very much focused on being like right, true, just, don't steal, you know, believing in the goodness of others still, which I thought was quite interesting when there's that nice little bit where he tries to ask for money and everyone just ignores him and that. And he's like, you know, the spirit of goodness will, come is it? Nope.
Living off the kindness of strangers.
There.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously there's that struggle as well. She's clearly frustrated with her lot in life. You know, the Jedi are all but gone, and I expect she will be. As the series goes on, we'll probably see her turn. It'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works. But so she gets caught taking some fruit. She gets put in police custody. So then we get to see the police precinct, the droids. Do you want to talk about any particular characters at this point? I have a feeling there could be a fan favorite character among the
already. You know, I am famous for doing a particular impression of a certain celebrity who is also a voice actor on the show. So I was ruddy well excited when Two Boots turned up, because that's Richard Ayoade. I can't believe it. Now I'm a police robot in Star Wars. Yes. Suck on that. I'm still Maurice Moss. Hearing the glorious... and I had no idea he was in it. And
no, I didn't.
2 words into his first line, I was like, Moss.
Yeah.
And that is literally, that's the other thing. Because I'm so tired at the moment, I didn't remember any character names of the new characters we got. However, I did get instantly, I was like, Two Boots. That's staying in my brain for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because of Ruddy Moss.
Mate, if you can't remember character names, I've got you covered. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I can fill in those blanks.
Dave.
Guy with the face. Yep, I know who that is. Two Boots. because obviously Richard Iward, he played one of the droids
000.
in yes, triple no,
It was
not
000, wasn't it?
000 is Afra's droid.
Oh, damn it! I really thought I'd got that. Maybe it's
Is it
just called
called
Zero.
Yeah. Anyway, which was
The
fine.
Forlom, but not Forlom.
You don't hear when Richard Iward is going to appear in animation and do a voice. You want that Moss voice, really, don't you? Like that's the one. He played it quite straight in Mando, so hearing him do Two Boots in that sort of Moss way was very satisfying. Particularly I like the scene where he sort of comes over with the mug of calf, like hands it to the captain, and it's like, even though I can't drink this, I just like sharing the moment with you. Like it's
I just like sharing these moments.
You do all the Two Boots commentary from now on. Like, or you can do the rest of this live stream in that voice. That suits me.
I will just be featuring Two Boots. Two Boots reviews Maul Shadow Lord. I will get that ruddy criminal. But I actually thought the police captain, like the detective, what's his name?
Captain
Gonna put you on the spot now. Yeah, I really like his character. I think there's a good stuff there. He obviously has no love for the Empire. He's trying to stop the Empire getting involved, which I really
does
like.
Not want them involved. Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna ramp up because the woman who looked his boss, who does look remarkably in my head like Governor Price in this style. I know it's not her. I'm just saying, but she looks like her. It reminded me of her. But she was very much like stick to protocol. Two Boots is constantly trying to get him to.
Yeah, Two Boots is going to be the one that rats them out, I think, isn't he? I think he's going to be the one that actually tips them off. But because she didn't seem to want to get the Empire involved either. It was kind of like sort this out before the Empire has to be informed. Thought it was
I could see why you would think with that Tash.
Yularen is deep in the we know what you meant. Yularen's deep in the ISB at this point, though, isn't he? I think he was part of the Empire pretty much as soon as Order 66 sort of happened, wasn't he?
He was part of the Empire before he was cool.
Before it was cool, yeah.
In fact, I've actually got old man Yularen right there.
Oh, this is a
that's a Next 17. That's the Next 17 one, but yeah,
very cool.
It's just nice to have it to hand.
It's
a rare moment for me because in that vague area. But yeah, so I thought the dynamic of the police precinct was really good. It was nice to see local authority again, comparing to Andor. Very much like it's nice to see local authorities are still trying to maintain like governance over their own planets or jurisdictions. Yeah, and it's cool because it's that period of time where the Empire has been declared and established, but it hasn't sort of gone to taken over all forms of local government yet. And that's a really cool thing to see because I reckon by the end of what it will now be season 2, I'm imagining, I think the Empire will take over the police there and it will be replaced with the ISB probably.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see how much time we spend on this planet. And again, don't want to just make all the comparisons to Andor, but we spent a fair bit of time, didn't we, on Ferrix? Yeah, so we're on Janix now. Yeah, I mean, it obviously it makes sense why there be crime bosses, a lot of crime activity on this planet as well, because obviously there's no Imperial presence, so they'll want to keep the Empire out of it. So Maul won't want to be, or maybe he will want the Empire coming down and see what they're made of, but he'll probably know that now that he is out there in public again. Like I think the other crime bosses sort of alluded to him being dead. Obviously, like they thought he'd vanished. The police had never heard of his
the Shadow Collective.
The Shadow Collective, his previous sort of organization.
I knew something.
With the Pikes and and Black Sun. I mean, Sam Witwer, one of the things they said was like, you don't have to have seen any Star Wars going into this show. You can just watch it. This could be the first Star Wars show you watch, and you'll fit right in. But obviously, knowing what we know previously and Maul's story, it does help
to have more information. I think it would. We're speaking about the crime element of it. The crime bosses I thought were done really, really well. I absolutely loved the giant Gran.
Yeah, I didn't even clock that he was a Gran. On first watch, obviously I appreciate he's got the 3 eyes, but it's like, oh, yes, brilliant. Like, yeah, that's
Because
pretty
he's
cool.
massive. You don't see many fat ones.
No, you don't. Okay, how good's your knowledge then? So that was that's Demas, and the other boss, the shorter of the two, is called Vario, who is the same species as Rats
Rats
Tyrell,
Tyrell. Yeah. With his
uh,
amazing mech suit.
with the mech suit. Yeah, very cool. Yes. Had a lot of funny lines throughout these 2 episodes. I expect he will be kept on a little bit. Hopefully, hope they don't just kill him off.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't kill him off. I won't lie. When it got to the point where like he was going to be killed off, I was like, oh, because I actually thought,
He'll
like,
weasel his way
character.
like through it. I think he'll navigate the series quite well. There you go. That's
Yeah,
my
and
first
then
prediction that will be wiped out in episode 3. But there you go.
yeah, literally in the first 5 seconds of the next episode, it's just a picture of, like, he gets shot.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really cool. That whole crime boss setup with the heist and using the droid as well, with, like, the droid's head in the platter, very Godfather-y type thing, like the horse head in the bed,
Yeah,
but with
nice
the
shot.
droid's head, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
So yes, so
see the
Maul's playing
underworld a
them
bit
off
more.
against each other, which is cool. So there's just absolutely there's so much paranoia between the 2 factions. There's a truce in place, and obviously that's now gone. Demas is taken out rather quickly, and Vario escapes.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we're next, and also like the mention of the Pikes as well. The Pike Syndicate, obviously, which wasn't until Solo came in that we even knew about really that much about the Pike Syndicate. You know, Solo was.
Oh, you there? Either Ryan's gone or I've gone. I'll keep talking. Delving Seek, do you think the series will have time jumps, or will wait for series 2 at some point? It needs to line up with the Solo film. Yeah, it might do. It might jump like a year or 2. I think. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't know how far in like how past the prequels this actually is. Ryan's gone. Come back, Ryan. We'll keep the stream open for a little while longer.
Oh, God. Oh, here.
You're there, mate. Yeah, cool. We're there.
Yeah, every now and again, my signal just drops for some reason.
Just talking about time jumps in this series, like, so I'm not sure if this is like a couple of years past Order 66. It seems to be like it's not straight after Order 66. I think the Empire's been established for a couple of years, but I don't think it's that far. We're not at Kenobi / Solo yet, are we? I think we're a few years out from that. So yeah, I mean, depending on how long this series runs, if they're already talking about season 2, I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't run for 3, 4, 5. If they've got a decent story, yeah, it could tie up to Maul. I really hope it does. I don't want. Thing I find frustrating with Star Wars is this won't be a long rant, but I like this. I like the stories. I like continuity with my stories. I don't want to read a comic to finish off an arc in the Clone Wars like they did with Son of Dathomir, and then pick it up again in Clone Wars season 7. Maul is suddenly back, and then jump to Solo and he's a crime boss, and then jump to Rebels and he's an old man. Like, I don't mind them jumping, but I want the story kept in that animation style. I think consider I'm
kept
assuming
linear and kept in the same format.
Yeah, so I think Maul's story kind of sums up Star Wars in that you start in the middle and you go back and then you go forward and then you sort of jump sort of to his sort of peak, and then so yeah.
Hoping to see how Maul gets dumped on the planet that the Rebel crews find him on, possibly by Kira. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a good tie-in. Because I'm trying to think now, like, obviously he has the Mandalorian saga at the end of the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Gets arrested, and in the final episode escapes.
When
then
the comic,
I'm guessing,
yeah.
Yeah, well, but
yeah.
Ahsoka lets him go on the episode.
I see that one. Sorry. Yeah.
And then So was there loads of stuff in between? Because I haven't read any of the modern comics because I'm still a Legends guy. Not because I don't want to read the stuff, I just haven't got round to reading the new stuff because I'm still finishing off the stuff from the 90s.
There's a
Is there stuff on in between that?
there's a prequel comic out now, as in prequel to the show Shadow Lord.
Mm.
Marvel did a run of Maul, but that's pre Phantom Menace, and then you've got Son of Dathomir, which is set in the Clone Wars. So I think there is a big period between Clone Wars and Rebels, which now just needs telling. I don't know if there's any stories in between. I haven't read them. I haven't really read much of the Crimson Dawn stuff either. It would be cool to see Kira pop up at some point, but I'm guessing she's going to be too young for a few years.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
the next season.
I can see Jarden Voss turning up. I can see that crime syndicate being involved. Hopefully they will. They know their audience. They know the character and the story, don't they? There should be threads that will either not directly connect it, but help bridge that gap, I think.
Is it bad that part of me, because the minute you mentioned the Black Sun, because I am a diehard Shadows of the Empire fan, long, loyal, and true. Part of me was sitting there like, could we potentially get Shizor in this? Because obviously he's a character. I mean, we know that Filoni and yay, nice, much love for Shizor. We know that obviously Filoni is a huge one for sticking stuff in from like what is now the Legends community and bringing it back to the forefront. So the fact this is so crime based, could we potentially see Dasher Endar and Lebo? Could we see Shizor and Guri? Could something like that happen in this? I think there's a chance. You never know, because I mean, I can't think of any better way of getting them into the stories, even if it's only fleeting, is to see them in this crime world that's being established by it. And it's back. He's got the vendetta against the Black Sun Corporation, because he's already made this Black Sun, Crimson Dawn, Pikes, and the other smaller ones, which obviously we've already killed one of the bosses of. He's captured the other one.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. Similar to how they introduced Thrawn into Rebels, sort of using
that's what I was thinking.
Sparingly to start with, and then I mean, obviously they're not going to they will rewrite. they're not going to just redo or retell the EU. They will have their own way of bringing in characters, I guess. I really want Ventress to turn up. Possibly not in this, but just in general. Like, I want more Ventress in my life. And there's a rumor about, is it Anya Taylor-Joy? Playing her in live action. I think that is just a rumor, though. I don't think that's confirmed. But
I mean,
I want to
be fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's another character that sort of had a whole story post Clone Wars or in the Clone Wars told in a book, and then it's like, which is a really good story, but hey, then never mind. Yes,
I lose track. Yeah,
I should be honest. Well, we do. Yeah, okay. There's a story with Ventress in Tales of the Underworld, isn't there? So we see Ventress. Well, I think the first episode is still set in the Clone Wars because we see Kenobi in that, don't we? Possibly, yeah. In that episode, and then we see her later on in life, where the Empire is a thing. So again, could be in a similar sort of time period. Again, they're putting these little stories out, aren't they, in those Tales series? So they know they can connect them up if one's a hit or if a couple of them hit. Rook as the armorer, yeah. I think I was on that train of thought to start with, but now thinking that, I don't know, I'm not sure now. Like, Rook doesn't have the horns on her helmet, does she? I know she's following Maul, but she doesn't. There aren't, apart from one like super commando in the Clone Wars. I don't think any of them actually had the Maul horns in animation. They might have done in the Ahsoka series, but yeah, it's possible. I'm kind of hoping there's a different faction. They're called like the Children of the Watch, aren't they? Yeah. But it's interesting because obviously she does have the horns, so yeah, there could be a Maul element to that.
Was she as a character in the the Rebels and was she a speaking part already, or
What, Rook cast?
yeah,
Or again, she was one of the team that broke Maul out from Palpatine's
she was
sort of
part of that?
prison.
I
She was
sort
part
of
of
that's
that.
the thing. There's been so much recently that I've sort of
Yeah.
got it all confused in my head. I mean, that's
and
cool.
she and
So
she is in the Clone Wars, like season 7, but I don't remember her having any lines. I think she's voiced by Vanessa Marshall. Am I right? That I think, yeah. So the voice of Hera, I think she's voice of Rook cast as well.
nice.
She's a nice little nod. But
It's
yeah,
cool.
she does sound a bit like the Armorer. Like she does
Yeah,
talk similar.
but then that could be, like I said, that could just be because she's also Mandalorian.
And maybe the Armorer has, sets up this weird cult where no one can take their helmets off because they're actually all disgraced Mandalorians that work for Maul at some point. Maybe that's why she keeps her helmet on, and maybe there's the connection to Rook Cast. Maybe Rook Cast is like, yeah, wanted or
Possibly.
disgraced, and yeah. So yeah, it's a possibility. Like we're gonna speculate on this show, aren't we? Like there's yeah, that's half the fun of Star Wars, isn't it?
Absolutely. So there is one thing I would like to bring up that I thought was really cool, is that within hardly any time at all, we had seen 3.5 new droids. The reason I say point, yeah, so here's my reasoning. So you got the loading dock droids. They were really cool, like the security at the loading dock. Then you've got the spying droid, which was really cool, but did remind me of in Men in Black 2 when that weird alien's got the little saucer underneath him.
Okay.
But really cool.
That one, sorry.
Yeah, that's a niche link. And then obviously we got the 2 boots, like that kind of the police droid for that planet. And the 0.5 is the mech suit. I'm calling it 0.5 because I don't know. It would be cool. It might have been able to work independently, but it's nice that it wasn't just HK assassin droids. It wasn't just recycled battle droids. There was new designs in there. So yes, there is familiar things. So we've got the Zabraks, we've got the Mandalorians, Maul, obviously iconic looking. But it was nice that we still got that thing which I always love with the new Star Wars series, where you see like new droids, new aliens, which obviously I'm pretty sure the Jedi Master is either a new alien or one that we really haven't seen much of before, species-wise. He reminded me a little bit of the one that's the yak face species, the one that you see dead in, but like not as in like is the same species, very different species, but as in mannerisms and that kind of slow, calm, positive, like mannerism wise, he reminded me of that character, which I thought was really nice.
It could be. We haven't seen another yak face, have we, in anything? Like who's to say that there isn't like a shorter sort of.
Oh, he's definitely. I'm 99% sure he's the same species that character is. But I'm just saying, like the new. I'm going to call him the Lizard Master. Lizard Master is like.
Eki Diodaki, Ryan. Get it right.
Lizard Master is very much similar characterization wise as that Jedi, which I thought was quite nice. But I also really loved the breakout of the prison. I thought that was really cool. It reminded me a bit of the Mandalorian, the breakout of the prison ship, but
so
it's impossible not to be reminded of other things.
I got Jurassic Park vibes. Did you notice? So the spy bot, when he sort of infiltrates the police precinct, yeah, he did a Dennis Nedry, didn't he? Like that was so good. It's like I had to write that down. Yeah. and then obviously 2 Boots overrides it. But yeah, no, that's really cool.
It would have been really cool if you had like another officer that was just like, it's chaos is what it is. Oh wow, special fruity. But
I'm sure we'll get Jeff Goldblum in Star Wars at some point. Surely.
I hope so. I feel like if we've had him in Marvel film, that we should have him in I would be happy with a similar kind of character in Star Wars. Ooh, welcome to my palace of disrepute, if you
Maybe
will.
He was lined up he might have been lined up for Taika Waititi's movie that is currently shelved, but you never know. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, no, the breakout was really cool on the prison. Like they break out Vario, and then Maul turns his attention to
he
Devon,
senses.
but then Devon immediately knows who he is as well. Like he opens the door, she's like Maul. It's like, oh, so he is known.
Yeah.
Like he's known throughout the Jedi Order at least. So
Well, it
yeah.
also establishes that she is not an apprentice that was taken after 66 because
Oh
she
no,
had prior
no, no.
knowledge of him. So, you know, because I wasn't sure to start with if this is like the master has taken on they found a force sensitive teenager or something and
Mm.
pay it up. But this sort of establishes that she was obviously in the Jedi Order. She knows who Maul is enough to be definitely like afraid and concerned about this horned man that's just
Yeah.
appeared. Um, obviously, he then kidnaps her, takes them back to their lair, puts her in one of the giant storage vats.
Yeah, so we get into episode 2 now, chapter 2. So that's chapter 1 done. Like so, it ends with the capture of Ario and Devon. Yeah. So they escape out of the prison. Dean, yeah, I like your comparison to the droid reminding you of Embo. I get vibes of when in Short Circuit Johnny Five goes bad, like sort of like an evil sort of like all the other robots in that movie. But yeah.
Johnny Five
Yeah.
is alive. Oh, wait a minute. What's the show called again? um, I see a pattern. But yeah, so episode 2, obviously, great start. Again, first episode there was so much. There was a lot that happened in it. 2 was a bit sort of slower paced, but I think that's good because
It
you've done the
was.
establishing, and then now it's more about building the atmosphere and the story and the sort of the mystic element of it. Maul is as savage as ever in
Mm.
both episodes. It's cool. I kind of was a bit worried how they were gonna if they were gonna change Maul's character at all, but they've kept him in that sort of weirdly. This is gonna sound like very juxtaposition, but calmly manic.
Yeah.
Like
So
he's manicking what he's trying to do, as in like achieve, and the anger is always just under the surface. Like I think Sam once said it's like a tiger that that's prowling. That's when Ray Park did that great characterization in the film. I think he's brought
yeah.
that into the role, like voice wise. It always just sounds like he's just about keeping it cool before he goes and slices someone in half. When
Well, yeah, because when he does, he's absolutely off the rails, and I mean the animation as well keeps up with like the pace or the
Mm.
the pace of his actions, the way he slices through, in the opening scene when you first see him appear, and then when they're breaking out, and there's sort of a jagged sort of lightsaber effect going on, isn't there, with his
Yes.
lightsaber in this show, whether it's actually meant to represent more like that Kylo Ren sort of jagged sort of energy, or if it's just the style of the show. But yeah,
I quite
really,
like
really
it though.
yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, really good. So yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's
yeah.
there's possibly a slower, maybe it's a slower pace, but we get a lot of chase scenes in this series as well. Like so, a lot of chase scenes through the city. And again, another comparison I'll make, and it's probably been made by the people, but here we go. Attack of the Clones. There was a nice
Yes.
little music cue at one point that was very Attack of the Clones. I think it might
Oh, I
it
didn't
might have been
notice.
the third. It might have been the third chase when after they've left the prison. There's like it's like a little sound effect, like ooh, like and even Two Boots when he goes to commandeer that like the
Yeah.
garbage truck, and he sort of just jumps over the edge, very much like Anakin. Like, I'll be right back. Sorry about the
I
stench.
love that.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I feel like it was like it felt like cops in Star Wars, which I did kind of like. I think because the other thing is it's not just like every ship's got lasers and every ship can do this. It's not all X-wings and that, it's just pedestrian cars and vehicles, and you have to just chase because it's just cops chasing bad guys effectively.
Oh, it's
Um,
very grounded. Like it's kind of all surface level. We're not flying around in space in this
mm,
show. We are like chasing through the streets. Yeah.
very much like the cars of Back to the Future 2, which are well overdue according to that timeline. So, like I said, I think because of the way we've discussed the things, actually, I'm just even looking at there. Look, I actually happen to have some of the old packaging from the pod race set and Maul's on that as well. So I just noticed that out of the corner of my head. Just we're never far away from Maul.
You
But
don't strike me as the type that has packaging from 14 years ago just lying around. Like,
I do.
okay.
It's mainly because this one was the pod racer pack. I just, me and I love pod racing.
Yeah.
But I do keep the card backs of things. I cut the bubbles off very carefully and keep the card backs.
Yep.
Got boxes of those. But yeah, most of the time, no. I never keep anything sealed because that is just not who I am and will never be.
No.
Ever. But since this is 375 Alive, like episode wise, I feel like the only other thing to mention is that obviously, Police Chief, we see a bit of his home life, which is cool, but it just adds a bit of a dimension to the character. And obviously, at the very end of the episode, she escapes through the back of the silo type thing.
Yeah. Well, you say escapes. Maul says, you're free to leave at any time, and he wasn't lying
because she's got the Force. Basically, trying to get her to reconnect to the Force, I think.
Yeah.
But the main thing is them attacking the Pike ship, which was absolutely awesome. And seeing the bit where they hack the ship, and then the bit through like he goes to the external of the ship, and you can just see through the frosted type glass that he just gets absolutely cut. I mean, they're doing very well and not showing the overly graphic violence on the animation.
No.
Like it's so well implied and just off screen or through some kind of haze or something that it still feels like whoa, even though you're not seeing it in like close up. It's not like the Dead Space animation or something.
Well, with Clone Wars, they could get away with the amount of, I'll say violence, the amount of battles, and they could get away with the amount of killing because it was mainly droids and helmeted characters. In Rebels, stormtroopers all helmeted. You don't really see, So when you kill someone with a face, I think that's where not the line is, but obviously that it's whether this isn't a kid. It's not really a kid show, is it? Like this is for people that have grown up with Clone Wars and Rebels and all Star Wars fans really. But like you can tell it's that next age bracket up, isn't it? If you've if you've lived with if you grew up with animation in that way.
Really absolutely cool. So obviously this is 375 Alive. So we are 375 people. So let's bring it on top. The hats come off, like the hats off, the gloves are off. How do you want to do it?
Okay, so we said before the show, like we don't know what are each other's choices, but we've said it's 10 episodes, so we're going to have 10 character choices throughout the series, one from each chapter, and by the end of it, we'll have a nice a wave or a couple of waves of figures each, like in a perfect world, like what you'd like to see. So I'm guessing, Ryan, I don't want to speak for you, but will yours be in like if Hasbro ever did retro collection for this series, would yours be in a traditional Kenner / retro collection, or are we just saying 375 be damned, like
just 375? Because I would like to see characters done, because the thing is, whilst I don't own the figures, I enjoy them in your collection, so it's I live vicariously through your TVC life.
Okay. So before we do our choices, I want to hear from anyone watching. Put in the comments who your, if you were to have one or two characters made from Hasbro in TVC or 375 or even Black Series, sod it, like who would those two characters be? Ryan, who's your first?
My first is Vario in his mech suit.
Yes. Same.
Because that is just far too cool, and we know they can do it because they did do the one from the Clone Wars. We have seen that, so it is doable. I just think like it has to be removable as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way they would do it is it would be the Rat Tyrell type size body and the mech suit, and the head could just pop between the two, which is a shame. I would love
maybe
somehow you could actually open
they did it with IG-11 and or IG-12 and Grogu and the Anzellan. They managed to, you know, put those characters inside. So there's no reason why they couldn't. Hey, this is a dream lineup.
That's true.
No, you know, the budget is not a thing here. This is just, if this was your lineup, Vario gets in mine as well. I've got two choices. I think we're gonna have 2 for 2 here. But yeah, Vario in mech suit. I put deluxe figure because it will be a deluxe figure. Same species as, is it Su Choi? I think it was an Order 66 2-pack, Su Choi, Little Jedi, and Rats Tyrell. So they've done that character. Obviously, it will be an all new sculpt, but yeah, like definitely.
Still
Dean.
waiting for Rats Tyrell's wife and child from episode 1. You know, still waiting for that.
That could be,
just saying
that could be your white box 4-pack that you love
Exactly.
so much. Yeah, put 4 of them in and charge 80 quid. I don't know. Rookcast is a great shout, Dean. It's quite possible certain other characters will make the list as this series goes on. But yeah, Rookcast. Hopefully the fifth brother. Yeah, that's a good shout if he turns up. Yeah, I mean Hasbro got ahead with the 2 Inquisitors they've put out for this show.
Yes, I was
yeah.
surprised at that. So I also will say that choice vetoing in for the future. If Hasbro announce the figure ahead of when we say it, you can veto it. Like, you know, yeah, you get a do-over.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to be a shock what my next choice would be.
I wonder. Shall I? Do you want to go first? Again?
Yeah, go on then. Let's blow Dave's mind with my completely random and
I
unexpected
wonder who
choice.
it might be.
It's Runnywell 2 Boots. I want a 2 Boots figure. Basically, I want Moss in figure form, and that needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his character from Mandalorian still needs to be made. Damn it, Hasbro! Come on.
Yeah.
Character that interacts with your HasLab. But yeah, no, absolutely. 2 Boots. I put in like instant droid favorite. A bit like K2SO for army building. So, you know, you have your 2 Boots character, but you could also just have a whole host of them to build out your space precinct.
That'd be a good crossover space precinct though.
But yeah, and again, yeah, Richard Iwadi, where it's just, I mean, that just makes that character, doesn't he, instantly likable. Yeah, I think out of the 2 choices, he's probably more likely.
Is he your second choice as well?
He's my second as well. Yeah, we are 2 for 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a very close third, and I actually tossed up between 2 Boots and another.
Oh, do you want to save your other for next week, or?
No, do you know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm gonna chug it out now. It's a Lizard Master.
We need a Kenner-esque name for him. Is he just going to be called Lizard Master?
Lizard Master. That's like the most Kenner type name. Otherwise, it'd be like, I don't know, maybe like Lizard Face, Master, probably, if it was. Yeah. I think Lizard Master has a good ring to it.
Nice. Okay. Lizard Master. Yeah. With his sort of a bit of pipe. Hey, Jez, you're right, man. On 2 speed, brilliant.
Oh my god, I must sound absolutely mental, especially when I'm doing my Moss impression at 2 speed. I'm going to do it faster now. You're welcome, man. You can do it on 2 speed. If 2 speed on that, you're going to do it even quicker. Oh my god, this is going to sound so fast. It's not even going to sound like real words.
Honestly, Jez and anyone watching, like, I really, you know, appreciate you spending time with us, because there are countless reaction videos to Star Wars shows, to all shows in general, and I'm guessing, you know, if you're on YouTube, you've got your favorite channels and you'll watch certain people react to shows, but we are genuinely, you know, you don't amass Star Wars figure collections like this unless you're a genuine fan of the franchise, and we absolutely are. We talk the shows as much as we talk about figures, you know, outside of our little YouTube channels. So yeah, thanks for joining us, because yeah, it's just great to talk Star Wars, and I've been holding this in for 2 days, Ryan. I need to get it out.
I know it's just been hard, like, to not talk about it. But sticking on the 375 theme, so what's interesting as well is my normal complaint is that the TVC completely robs anything of actually having its own freaking toy line, which I like. You know, that's my scale. but I just think the fact it has to be on a TVC card back, I think really limits it. Because I feel like
What are you talking
we
about?
should have just had, the Maul Shadow Lord figure line just on its own. It's not
Mm,
part of the vintage collection story. It's not part of the original 95 or 6. It's not even from the original 3 films. I just feel like we could have had a lot more if they just did a short-lived but brilliant Maul Shadow Lord line.
This may be one for a future show, but maybe we should look into other toy lines that are out there outside of things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where you get the same characters regurgitated every few years. Not like Star Wars, no, but like, because it's the same team every few years, so they'll always update that, so it's easy to get a team of figures in that series. So it'd be interesting to see how many other sort of franchises there are kind of similar to Star Wars. Star Wars is a unique thing. It's nearly 50 years old now, and there's so much storytelling. I can understand why we don't get every character, but yeah, I share your frustrations and many others. Like I want a team. I want Rook Cast. I want the Mandos. I want the Zabraks. I want his whole collective there from day dot. It's not
Well,
happening, which is why we're doing our dream figure waves.
true, but I will say the Maul Mando is going to be an easy one. It's just going to be a repack and a repaint. That will come
Oh
out
yeah,
before any of. I reckon that will. It's much higher on the list than one of the main characters is going to be the man. Maul Mando. Maul Mando.
I'm surprised we didn't get a
Repaint.
4-pack a la Bad Batch of just 4 random Mandos with
Yeah,
the Maul Shadow Lord banner before
of
we
course.
get any of the
Why
main
wouldn't you?
characters. Obviously,
I mean,
we
if they
have
do
got
want
Maul. We've got
a
Maul,
4-pack of
and we've
pop,
got the 2 Inquisitors as well coming either this month or next month. Like coming very soon. Some people have already got them in the collection. So there's
is the Maul a brand new sculpt or
no.
is it a retool?
It is a retool of the Clone Wars Maul, which is it's the best Maul out there. It's like the head sculpt is phenomenal. He apart from the cloak, they could have added a cloak, I think, for this figure. That would have topped it off. But I think outside of that, it's the same outfit that he wears in the Clone Wars.
Well, if you're looking for
More
a
or less.
cloak for it, can I take a trip back to the past, back to the days of the good Maul times,
The good
and
Maul time.
suggest good
Yeah.
Maul times? And can I suggest that you look at the Sith accessory pack released for Episode 1, because it came with the Darth Maul cloak, lightsabers, Sith probe droids, and a weird launcher for said probe droids. But the main thing is the cloak. Is a really decent cloak.
Okay.
I actually put it on my retro Maul, funny enough, and the wrist communicator that comes with it.
Nice.
And I use the Sith droid in my display, which will be in my Streets of Tatooine, because it will have no actual concrete time period. It will just be Tatooine stuff. I got
play
quite.
your way.
I mean, to the point where, look, this is the retro Qui-Gon, and he's wearing the poncho that was in the accessory
nice.
pack from Episode 1, and that works really well. And similar with
That
the Maul,
really fits.
which I don't have to hand, but the Maul, I have put that cloak on. So if you are looking for a cloak for your vintage collection Maul for the Shadow one, I would really recommend looking, because they're quite cheap to pick up, the Sith accessory pack from Episode 1. So
yeah, I might give that a go, see how that looks. I wasn't haven't got it to hand, it's in another room, but Chimere the Stranger, I wonder if because it's kind of like a poncho, isn't it, like a shawl, and he's got a hood, hasn't he, but like it's not like a cloak in Shadow Lord. I think
it
maybe
actually reminds me a bit of I have it to hand, but I don't want to knock everything over. The retro Ahsoka figure had a particular type of hooded cloak, and it's got a bigger hood, but it's got like strands rather than like a solid piece, which Maul's looks like it's a lot more like that, like a bit flowy,
kind
bit
of frayed.
drapey.
Yeah.
Reminds me of like a
Nice.
ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, actually, like that kind of.
Yeah, that sort of vibe, absolutely, yeah. And just as terrifying, kind of. Well, that's the intention anyway with the series. He's a genuinely terrifying character. I think we'll see a lot darker themes throughout. Do you have any final thoughts for the series, like where you want to see it go? Were you surprised? Well, I mean, first of all, I'm guessing you enjoyed the show.
So I really enjoyed it. I like the fact it's not all dumped at once. I like the fact I've got something to look forward to every week, Star Wars wise. Would always prefer that. Oh yeah, Dean, that's a very good shout for everyone actually as
Yeah.
well. The retro work would work very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the fact I get Star Wars every week again. Big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of shows putting all their episodes at once. When it's
No,
like a
only
small,
little
like
bits.
4 short episodes or something, fine. But if it's a 10-episode series, I want to at least space out. So doing 2 a week is quite a nice balance. Where I want it to go, I think I want to see more of the crime world. I want to see more of the crime organizations, not just individual bosses from there. I want to see the actual, like the home bases of these things. I want to see the criminal activity. Basically, I feel like this is like a good opportunity to show off the seedy underworld in Star Wars that we almost got with the first live action series that was going to be made, which was all set on Coruscant,
Oh,
and there is some test
like
footage of
13,
that when George
13,
Lucas
13.
was
Mm.
yeah. So I kind of want to see that. I want to see the lower streets of not just obviously Coruscant, but like just the worlds, like the spice smuggling and all that kind of thing. So I think that's where I want to see it go. I want to see more of that. I'm going to be very interested. I'd like to see if they do like the way they bring the Empire into it. Like if you like you said, if it's going to be just Inquisitors or are we getting the ISB as well? Will we have a new Imperial character that's sort of like the officer on the ground in this new planet? But yeah, so rating wise, I'd give the first 2 episodes probably a good solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. I thought it was a fantastic start. Really could not appreciate more using the Jewel of Fate's music when we saw Maul. That was my number one thing, gave me chills. So yeah, that's my thoughts. How about
Really
you, Dave?
cool. Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'd give it a 9 straight away. Like
Ooh.
it's some. I mean, we've talked about it with other animated shows. Like when animation gets it right, like it's top tier Star Wars. Like you know, I will rewatch certain episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels like just as much as I'll put on the original trilogy. Like they are just some of my favorite Star Wars, and I think this is an introduction to a series. Is fantastic. I'm hoping, yeah, I'm like you. I hope we see more of the underworld and the crime syndicates. It's almost like when they brought Maul back in the Clone Wars. I'm not going to say they fumbled it, but like his intro wasn't. I wasn't a fan of him. Not just being brought back. I didn't mind him being brought back. The way they brought him with like this animated snake, and it just felt really cheesy. And then it took him a little while to sort of, I don't know, become this sort of character that you're almost kind of rooting for, but you shouldn't. And when he's sort of assembling all the crime bosses and sort of taking over, everything's so rushed, and you don't really have time to sort of appreciate it, on its own sort of like story. Like everything, I love the Clone Wars, but it's so fast paced. So all of that sort of happening in sort of the space of 4 episodes, from like finding him raising this empire, taking over Mando, and then getting cut down by Palpatine. But this like feels like that story, but we're going to have it nicely fleshed out. We're going to have time to really sort of spend with these characters, and he's not going to just assemble all the crime bosses, and he's not, he's in it for himself. Like they are definitely on opposite sides in this. So yeah, I'd love to see how that happens. Yeah, and the Empire, this isn't, Maul was part of the grand plan back in the Phantom Menace. He knew this was Palpatine's plan, but it's not, obviously he's not part of it, and he's trying to find his way in this new world as well. So yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, the new world, the new lay of the land. I said Sam Witwer's comment about you don't have to have seen previous Star Wars, and that it kind of does ring true. I think I'm gonna rewatch it with Amy, who my partner, who doesn't. She's watched the odd Clone Wars. She's not invested in the animated stuff. She loves the series and the movies. But yeah, this might be one that we we watch together at some point. And then yeah, just like the shades of Andor and Kenobi with like sort of seeing the Empire or seeing just the galaxy from a completely different on the ground sort of perspective. And yeah, I am excited to see where it goes.
What you say is true from a certain point of view.
And it does feel like it doesn't feel like a computer game in any way, but it does feel like we're leveling up. We're going to level up boss wise with each episode. So we when he's taking down the Pikes, they allude to Krim, who is their leader. So he's the next boss, I guess. And then we know the Inquisitors are coming. The Inquisitors work for Vader. Vader works for Palpatine. Palpatine's the ultimate goal for Maul. So yeah, I'm not saying it's all going to happen in this one series, but it's nice to see. I think they will level up, and yeah,
I like it. It's like Maul Pilgrim versus 7 evil ex-bosses.
the evil exes.
Yeah,
that's another show. Who would be Maul's 7 evil exes?
Cool. All right, then. So I think that probably about wraps it up for tonight.
We've
So
just
thank you
over an
everyone
hour.
watching.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
thank
look at
you so much. Like I say, we normally talk Star Wars action figures. We're talking a show today with some some little 375 sprinkled in, and we'll be doing it over the next 4 weeks as we continue this journey with Maul Shadow Lord.
So yeah, but until then, obviously, thanks for watching, and remember to keep 375 alive.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.
375 alive.